Time for another Couple 90 special. Today we're going to be reacting to Ultras, Billionaires, and Protests, what English football must learn from Germany. I have absolutely no idea what this particular video is going to be about, but I'm excited about it. Just a reminder again, I'm still waiting on that Hillsborough video to be approved. It hasn't yet, unfortunately. It's being copyright struck by Disney of all people. If it was any other smaller creator and they didn't want me to post it, I mean, I don't, I understand that. But it's being copyright struck by Disney and fully blocked by Disney. So we'll see. Let's go, though.
With no football to occupy us, we've had more time than usual to pause and reflect on things a bit. What do we like about the game and what could do with improving? And in particular, we started thinking about the differences between English football and German football, sparked by recent events in the Bundesliga.
German football fans do have something worth fighting for.
I think English football fans could learn to not fight with themselves as much as they do.
Allow us to explain.
Yeah. Unity is good.
On the 29th of February, German football came to a standstill. Bayern are beating Hoffenheim 6-0. The match has already been stopped twice when the players decide just to kick the ball around between themselves for the last 15 minutes. The problem, a series of protest banners directed at Hoffenheim's billionaire owner, Dietmar Hopp. Now bear in mind that a month earlier, Jordan Torunariga was racially abused in a DFB Pokal tie at Schalke, receiving his second yellow card for his furious reaction. That game wasn't stopped.
What?
They decided to abandon the game to have a protest kickabout. So what the hell's going on here? And what does it have to do with English football? German football is in great shape. Stadiums are full, domestic leagues are incredibly competitive, the atmospheres are brilliant, the experience is reasonably priced.
They look amazing.
Importantly, the fans have a real say. Something of a pipe dream for English supporters. As Matt Ford wrote in a recent article for Copper90.com, the flags, banners, flares and confetti seen in stadiums across Germany are not only the product of weeks and weeks of preparation and organisation, they also represent something which goes much deeper, is much less tangible. They're an expression of agency, engagement and involvement, the difference between passive consumption and active support of a football club. We'll talk about how our club belongs to us, the fans, how without fans football is nothing. Most of the time, there's an emptiness to those words. Our clubs generally belong to millionaire magnates, billionaire businessmen, and sovereign wealth funds.
This is going to be about the 50+1 rule, isn't it?
What this means in German football, you've got to understand the 50+1 rule.
So the reason why Dietmar Hopp and Hoffenheim are not very popular with the majority of German football fans is because Dietmar Hopp and Hoffenheim go against the way that football clubs are run in Germany, the 50+1 ownership model, which means that the fans retain the power. Apart from
as they should.
A number now of high-profile exceptions, like Hoffenheim, like Wolfsburg, like Bayer Leverkusen, and in most recent years we've seen the emergence of RB Leipzig.
German football is a world in which fans and club members still have a voice, still have a place where they can determine who are the people in charge of their clubs, what sort of statutes and what sort of political beliefs will be behind the club.
German football fans feel it's highly unorganic, that their game is about tradition, and that Dietmar Hopp with his money has financially doped or completely Frankensteined this club into the top flight. And they've not quite enjoyed the level of investment or the global sporting network of Red Bull that Leipzig have.
Red Bull Leipzig, man.
But at the same time, they're relatively stable in the top flight. I mean, they've been in the top flight since 2007 now, and they're not going to go away anytime soon.
Right. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it.
Outspoken in their criticism of Hopp. Back in 2008, they displayed a banner with Hopp's likeness in the crosshairs of a sniper's rifle.
Damn.
CEO Hans-Joachim Watzke spoke out against what he termed test tube clubs and called on the German authorities to investigate Hoffenheim. Then in 2011, it reached another level.
You're about 3 years into the top flight tenure of Hoffenheim, and in 2010.
Wait, I'm sorry. So I think I might have missed this slightly. Is he like the chairman of the Bundesliga? I think that's, yeah, I'm so sorry. I think I just mildly missed that little detail. I'm going to assume, yeah, given how much hatred from other clubs are being directed towards him. And I'm going to assume that this wouldn't be towards well, I was going to say maybe it wouldn't be towards a specific team owner, but we've seen how people just like Leipzig. So I don't know. It could be.
Dietmar Hopp thinks, well, I can't go on being criticised like this. I've got to have dialogue with these fans. He talked about this recently in the wake of the incident between Hoffenheim and Bayern. He said, look, I'm not prepared to talk with these guys again because I already talked to them. None of them gave a millimetre, and I'm just wasting my time.
Right.
I've never done anything to them, he said. Dortmund fans in particular would say, well, yes, you did, because if you go back to 2011, a Hoffenheim employee was caught piping noise through the speakers in the away stand at the Rhein-Neckar Arena to A, make them feel ill at ease, and B, drown out any chance about Dietmar Hopp. And this is after they've had their meeting to try and find some common ground. So after that, well, the ultras feel we can say what we want.
It was reported that a single club employee
so he's
had
the
been
owner.
behind the move, but Hopp's critics accused him of secretly supporting it. Anti-Hopp banners have been seen and chants heard at virtually every game between the two clubs ever since. The weekend of the 29th saw the issue come up again. Fans criticised what they saw as a breach of promise by the DFB, who had just imposed a 2-year ban on Dortmund fans travelling to away matches at Hoffenheim over continued abuse of Hopp. In 2017, then DFB President Reinhard Grindel had pledged to end collective punishment of fans over things like unauthorised firing off of flares inside stadiums, although this was never formally adopted as a policy by the German FA. Then ultras groups across Germany.
So I think this goes to show that I don't understand fully the full structure. What is the order of organization here? Like there's a German FA, there's the DFB, I think he just said. What's the structural organization here? Like who's in charge of what? Just so I have a better drawn out idea of it.
German FA. Then ultras groups across Germany took to the stands in solidarity with a unified message. Du Hurensohn, it said, you son of a whore. A not uncommon insult at German matches aimed at Hopp.
The point of comparison is pretty clear. The reaction to the Dietmar Hopp case was very clear-cut. You had people saying it's a new low point for German football. It's something that we cannot accept. It's a red line that has been crossed. Whereas just recently we had numerous cases of racism, of monkey chants towards black players. We've had blatantly sexist banners towards female ultra groups in Germany, which did not even trigger the first step of the 3-step plan. And this raises questions, and people are asking if insulting a rich white billionaire is your red line being crossed. Then where were you when there were actual cases of racism? Where was that red line back then? Wasn't this incident a red line for you?
Why are they applying all these rules now? We've had blatant other issues of people being disrespectful to actual fans, players, and supporters of different race and color and gender. It's like, oh, now you draw the line because we're insulting the billionaire? Okay, I see what you guys are about.
But for Bayern and many other teams, the protests aren't just about Hopp, but about what a crackdown on their freedom to criticise him might mean, namely the beginning of a dangerous precedent on the restriction of fan rights.
This is all a matter of a trend that has been taking place in German football in the eyes of many German football fans and many ultras. And as long as this is the general direction taken by clubs, by the authorities, by the DFB, the Football Association, and by the Football League, the DFL, I believe those protests will continue to take place, especially given how well organized German ultras are and how they make their case whenever possible. They don't take silence. The culture here is a culture in which fans and ultras are part of the game, an active part of the game. They determine their club's futures. They determine the sort of voice their club will have.
So what can English football learn from all of this? Regardless of how you feel about the language and imagery used around the Hopp protests, or his right to pump money into a football club in his hometown, English fans should envy the fact that German fans speak out. In Germany, it's the activism of fans that have helped preserve the policies that football fans yearn for in England, like cheap ticket prices, the application of fit and fair ownership, and fighting back against fitting matches around TV times. They've also done great work combating all forms of discrimination, and because of their representation within clubs and paramount importance to the German football experience, their voices do make a difference.
Shit, I need to go to Germany.
We're talking about a reality in which anti-Semitic songs or racist songs in general were sung pretty often in German stadiums and nobody cared. Then came the ultras as a young subculture, as a rebellious subculture, and decided that this is not for us. We sort of have a different idea of support, and you go to games nowadays and you won't hear such things.
We've seen, especially with Monday Night Football, that this is a protest that's been made frequently and eloquently.
Monday Night Football?
The last couple of seasons. What I think shows exactly how important that right to protest is. Firstly, the fact that Monday night games have been taken out of the next TV deal. And secondly, even though they've been taken out of the next TV deal, the fans aren't letting it go. They want to make sure it does actually go. And we saw this at Eintracht Frankfurt. And the Commerzbank Arena has one of the greatest atmospheres in the whole of Bundesliga.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is the issue with Monday Night Football? We eat that shit up over here in America for the NFL, bro. But what's the problem with Monday Night Football? I'm trying to put some kind of ideas together. I'm going to assume, is it because people are usually at work when some of the football games start? Is that what it is? Ooh, okay. I'm going to make an assumption right here, right now, based off of the information we just got. German fans' willingness to fight for their fandom, against their voice being, silenced, like how it was with the Billionaire. Is it because people are at work? And if people are at work, that means there's less of a chance for these very active fans to not show up to games because they have to work, thus resulting in, kind of silencing them a little bit. Is that what it is? I'm going to assume so, but let me know in the comments.
And the whole home curve was empty for this Monday night game they played against Union a few weeks back. And there's just a huge banner with the stop sign through Mondays.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
That is so arresting.
And finally,
that is, they're united.
Can trust. How many nightmare stories do we have to go through in England before the authorities begin to give the fans a voice? Phoenix clubs are on the rise, fans are turning to non-league football to return to a sense of community, and nightmare owners are everywhere. Chelsea and Man City have been found guilty of breaching FFP, while Football League clubs find themselves on the brink.
What is FFP?
The newly promoted Premier League teams can spend over 100 million in a summer just to get relegated again. Something is clearly broken.
English football fans would learn to not fight with themselves as much as they do, not go for this consistent one-upmanship when it comes to ticket prices, for example, and realise that they are all in the same boat and they need to band together as one. The problem is that it's too easy for the authorities in English football to get the better of fans, and fans see it as almost, it's a case of putting up with it because it's about their club. It's about showing their love for their club. But
I got you.
Actually, if they want cheaper ticket prices, then there needs to be greater unity.
German football fans do have something worth fighting for, and seeing that your campaigning gets results, it doesn't mean you're never going to campaign again. It makes you more likely to continue campaigning. It makes it more likely that you should continue campaigning because you know that works. And like anything, like happiness in life isn't like a piece of paper that you can nail to the wall and frame or anything like that. It's something you've got to constantly work on. And a football club, which is so much part of so many people's happiness all over the world, is like that. It's something you've got to constantly work on.
You can make up your own minds on whether the players and authorities have done the right thing by Hopp, but the voice German fans have means they're able to keep their footballing system accountable. There's real debate involving all the stakeholders that can lead to real change, and in an era of modern football where the money and business around the game seems to have left fans behind, in the Bundesliga, they're closer than ever.
So is the issue overall with Hoffman just because of the fact that he's a billionaire? He's probably, I'm going to assume maybe he's, doing what billionaires do, probably spending more money on this club than other teams could afford, probably poaching a little bit. Is that kind of along the lines of really what it is? I don't think they really went into full detail, behind what he does. Context clues, billionaire ownership. We've seen how bad that can go. We saw that with the MK Dons and AFC Wimbledon video that we watched a few days ago. Wrong ownership, changing names, relocating, and so forth. No real knowledge for an actual sport. Now, that was his hometown club, So I'm going to assume he probably has some knowledge of football, but I think the overall consensus is people just don't want some billionaire owning their club and really making all their decisions. And again, all of these different organizations can step in when there's disdain for the billionaire versus fighting racism, sexism, you know, being against all of that. That's telling, you know. And again, shout out to those ultras. I respect that, man. I really do think that I've always thought this in sports culture, racism and all that kind of stuff, bro. Like, I mean, I'm a black man in America. I'm not gonna get too deep into that because I don't really do that here. I respect knowing that people are really trying to keep it more about the game and less about the person in terms of like where they come from. You know what I'm saying? Let me know like if my thoughts are kind of like close to what all of this really is about. At least that's what the context clues are kind of giving me anyway. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought about this reaction in the comments down below, and be sure to go check out the original video over on Copa 90 Football, which is apparently their other channel I didn't know that they had. And as always, this has been Jay with another reaction on this channel. Hope you have a great day. I'll catch you later. Peace.